Yo people, welcome back to another video. Joker 2 has to be the worst film I've watched since The Rise of Skywalker. A film that followed up a $1 billion project, so a massive success, but they decided to take it down the musical route, which I think we were all questioning and fearing. I tried to give it a chance, but unfortunately, the musical part wasn't the only garbage that was in this film. Before we look at the good and the bad, I'd appreciate if you could hit that like button, sub to the channel, and most importantly, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What you thought of the film, did you like it, all of that stuff. So yeah, this film, it felt like self-sabotage. They literally did the opposite of what the Joker would do in the previous film. I don't care if it's been 2 years. He should be more crazy than before. He was in literal isolation, he was getting bullied, he was a victim. Surely at some point he would crack just like he did in the first one. The Joker's supposed to be the prince of crime, and in this one he was the prince of shit. He was the prince of just being a victim. But anyways, let's go on with the good stuff. So I'm gonna start with Joaquin Phoenix. He was working with garbage, but he still managed not to struggle, and he did his own thing with the character. He tried to connect with the first film as much as he could. Any emotional moments or speeches that he could give, he would deliver, but the script ultimately just brought him down. Some of the stuff they made him have to act was crazy. Those Diddy things in the toilets. He was treated like a complete victim. I don't know why he signed up for this. Even his singing, it was questionable, but he's not a singer, so I don't know what to expect. Like, I can't really criticize him if that's not his thing. The other positive was that when they did have the actual serious scenes, which a lot of them, if not all of them, involved Joaquin, they would explore the Joker's mental health, the split personality, the suicidal thoughts, and most importantly, they managed to connect a lot of the stuff to the first film, which actually made the first one better. It filled out a lot more of the backstory for anything that was in doubt. One example was when the neighbor was saying how Arthur's mom hated Arthur's laugh and lied to him about him being put on the earth to make people smile. You could really see that all these things really got to the Joker. It really added a bit more of character to the mum, and she wasn't really the nicest person, even though we were all made to think that. I'm not saying the Joker killing his mum was justified, but I think for him, he feels better, or he actually enjoyed it even more doing it, knowing that he lived his whole life as a lie. These two things, so Joaquin and the themes, the serious ones, those alone were carrying this film in terms of the positives. They even started talking about themes that people can relate to in present day, such as cancel culture. Why should someone be judged on their past actions when they've bettered in the present? So themes like that, which could be argumentative, or they could split opinions, along with the whole depression and the mental health stuff. I think that was all handled well, and it felt like a continuation of the first film, just based off of those themes and the way it was done. And like I said, just based off of that, I would have been on like a 6 out of 10 for me. However, they decided to mess things up, and by things I mean everything else. Now, time for the negatives, and the first one. The Joker never harmed anyone, he never killed anyone, he didn't do anything to anyone, not even at the end when he was on panic mode, not even when he was getting touched in the toilets when it was Diddy time. It was a complete waste of a character. He even gave up at the end of the court case, he just surrendered. I feel like this movie was just done to sabotage the great character that they built in the first one, and if they are being genuine and they think that the Joker would even allow half of these things to happen without any consequences, then I don't know what Joker they've been reading or getting inspiration from. The next negative is he got absolutely played by Harley Quinn. It's almost like they switched roles, because Joker in any other form of media, he is the one that abuses Harley. He takes advantage of her addiction, her clinginess. But in this version, of course it was the female that had to do it. From the first time they meet, she lies to him about her backstory, about burning houses and not living with the parents and everything. Then she lied about her being pregnant. She even made him pick sides between herself and his lawyer, and he ended up firing his lawyer because of her. Harley did all of this, and then just because the Joker says, "I'm not the Joker," she gets turned off and just ignores him and ditches him. I can't even blame Lady Gaga, because she was given absolutely nothing. She did nothing wrong. She was given nothing to work with, and Harley in general just ended up being pointless. She contributed nothing. Another negative was the parallels that they tried to make to the first film. For example, the Joker manages to escape in a car from both situations towards the end of each movie. They made a lot of them, and it was so obvious that for me, I just didn't like it. I think when they're done more subtle, it pays off very well. But this one, it was so obvious that it just made me not like it. Next up, the singing. My lord, that was shit. I'm pretty sure they both sang off key at the beginning, and they sang better as the movie went on. I assume that was done on purpose to signify they're growing love or some bullshit like that. But yeah, way too many songs. The good parts I mentioned earlier would always get ruined because they do some serious talking about suicide or something mental health related, and then the very next scene they start singing. So it just feels a bit weird. Why do something that's to do with singing after you've just done something so serious? And if anything, it felt like all these songs were just in place to make the movie much longer, because in theory the film is just the days leading up to the court case and then the actual court case, and that could have been like an hour and a half or less. But then with all these songs and all these things in the way, it just stretches the movie, of course. The last negative I can think of, I'm sure there's more, but this film actually just finished me. But the last negative was the ending. If the ending wasn't that bad, this film could have gotten away with a very generous 4 out of 10. But after the Joker being a victim all film long, didn't even get any positive karma in any way or any realistic good thing happen to him, he just gets killed, which for me then just made the whole movie pointless. You go on this journey of a guy fighting depression, fighting mental health, trauma, life constantly fucks him over, he then turns evil, then he tries to right his wrongs, doesn't harm a fly, keeps getting abused by the guards or by Harley or in court, he then loses the court case, then he gets killed. It's too unrealistic and just shows how much they wanted to shit all over the Joker. He didn't get any win of any kind. Even when he got killed, I wouldn't have minded it as much. However, it led to nothing because the guy who kills him doesn't even get his time to shine or to imply that he wants to take over. Not even one little speech at the end, one line, nothing. He started cutting his mouth in the background. It was meant to be like a Heath Ledger inspiration thing, so I thought we'd get the camera then panning onto him and then he says something, but no. No implications of nothing. He just likes to cut his mouth in the corner as someone bleeds out. I don't know. The ending, we just literally see Joaquin die. A nice metaphor for the way they just killed this franchise. So congratulations Todd Phillips and all these people involved. You did a good job. But yeah, overall, I'd say this is probably a 2 out of 10. Any of the good, any of the potential that would happen got shut down immediately or ruined by all of these goofy songs or something stupid or something out of character from the Joker or just something that just didn't make sense or it ended up being pointless. So yeah, ultimately, the movie happened for no reason. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already. If you're new around here, we're on the road to 700 subscribers. Thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your day.